culture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al Ansar. Great news for members of Discovery Key Care Medical Aid. Lenmed Shifa Private Hospital has been selected as a designated service provider for Discovery Key Care patients. We now offer neuro and vascular surgery services, further strengthening our commitment to better serving our communities and expanding access to specialized care. With a mission to create healthier and more prosperous communities, Lenmed Shifa Private Hospital looks forward to welcoming more of you into our care. Visit lenmed.com for more information. Lenmed, embrace every day.
Look at the sun, look at the sky, look at the
Radio Al Ansar.
Shining so bright in the middle of the night. Oh look, there's a shooting star. Do you ever wonder who created this and who created that? Allah created everything. What about that tree? So beautiful.
Hey, it's Green Thumbs Up Day. It is Sunday, this Ramadan 2026 for all us new Gen Zers. 2026. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Rabia Carvalho. With me in studio is Brother Sibonisa Mkize on sound, and we will be with you until 10 o'clock, 9 to 10, inshallah, ameen. Stuff going on in the news, my goodness. I was reading about this, and thousands mourning Khamenei's killing in central Iran's Yasuj city. There's been a video clip posted by Iran's Tasnim news agency. And the video shows people beating their heads in their chests. It's really, really sad. We've got Israeli army apparently saying that alerts have been activated in various areas of the country. And of course, Iraq 15 minutes ago announcing 3 days of mourning over Khamenei's killing. So Iraq's government having announced 3 days a period of national mourning over Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei's killing. So they say, spokesperson Bassem Al-Awadi has said, with great sadness and sorrow, we offer our condolences to the honorable Iranian people and the entire Islamic nation on the martyrdom of the scholar and mujahid, the supreme leader, His Eminence Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Al-Husseini Al-Khamenei, whom we consider to be among the first of the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and that was today released by the Iraq news agency all of 15 minutes ago. So that is right up to the minute. Stay with Radio Al Ansar. Not only are we bringing you these wonderful programs, but we are constantly keeping you updated on what is going on in the Middle East. Terrible news. It is Green Thumbs Up though, so we're going to change tack a little bit, even though we're keeping our eyes on what's going on. It is Ramadan, and so I do want to talk to you a little bit more about herbs that are osmotic, that can help the gut, that a little later on in the show. And then before that, we're going to have the weather, and we're going to have a guest in studio this morning that is going to be talking to us about lazy gardening, which is just the thing that we need. Now, he is an expert, and as all our guests that come on to Green Thumbs Up, they are carefully selected for their wealth of knowledge and experience. So get your questions ready. You know the number 060 9041056, and that is our number. We're at Brother Sibonisa, we're in Durban, and we're in Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 in Pietermaritzburg and 90.4 FM in Durban. But of course, you know that we audio stream all over the world, so you can find us on Radio Al Ansar, and that is online. Let's look at the weather, because as gardeners, we always need to know what's going on in the weather, and also because people are fasting. And so because of that, it's good to know when there's a little bit of cool weather coming along to make it easier for everybody, inshallah. I hope the fast is going well with all of you, inshallah. I hope your du'as are beautiful. I hope that you are staying focused on goodness, inshallah, and not letting the stress monkeys get to you. Those stress and anxiety monkeys that want to build up and build up as cortisol doesn't have a way to exit our bodies. And there's good news afoot. In Cape Town, you're going to have a watery day today, rainy day today and Friday next week, this coming week. But the rest of the day will be warm. It will be warm, but not too hot. So you're looking at 19 to 21 degrees throughout in Cape Town, which I think is really, really good news. Those of you in Johannesburg, hey, Joburg, you're going to have water, and more water. Water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Indeed, because we're all fasting. Yes, but we can drink after iftar. Alhamdulillah. And so we look forward to that. And so you're going to have rain everywhere, except on Wednesday. On Wednesday, you will have a beautiful day, inshallah. So says the weather report, of course. But now, close to home, what's happening in Durban? Durban, we have got the weather warming up between now and Friday. It's going to get hotter and hotter. Friday will be 29 degrees, but still, it's not so bad. Brother Sibonisa, 24, 25, 27, not too bad. Remember, though, in this heat, and in the times that one is fasting, there's a temptation to water in the midday hours. Please do not water your plants in the midday hours. This is not beneficial for our plants. We want to water early in the morning, or we want to water early in the afternoon. That is early evening, late afternoon, pardon me. I mentioned something last week that had a few folks saying, oh, shock horror, can't be, possibly not. We're talking about fruit and eating fruit with iftar, if you remember. Yeah. Folks are saying, no, fruit must only be eaten a half an hour before you eat your dinner. Absolutely not, dear. You may choose to do that, but remember, you may very well have fruit after iftar, but there are two little tricks to it. The first one is chew carefully, chew thoroughly. And the second one is top it up with some hot water. Sip on some warm water. And you know what? That's actually going to be beneficial, not going to be something that's going to work against you. It is going to be beneficial because what that's going to do is it's going to draw water into your intestines. And this is what we're experiencing during Ramadan, is that we're eating the food after iftar and the gut is full and the gut is heavy, right? And then we are reading salah and then, you are going to masjid, most of the men particularly for tarawih, and then you come home and then you're eating a little bit more and you're going to bed with a heavy stomach. Hot water before you go to bed. Sip that hot water. It's going to help for your digestive tract. I'm going to carry on with this for a little while until we switch to gardening, because we are waiting for our guest who's making his way here and a little bit stuck, coincidentally, as one might get stuck during Ramadan if one does not take care of ourselves. So I have a recipe for you. I know a lot of you ladies, like myself, love that aloe vera juice with those little bits and pieces inside it, right? But normally when you buy those in the shops, they are full of sugar, which is not good for our immune system when we're fasting, and is also not good for the cleansing of our gut that is supposed to be happening during Ramadan, because Ramadan is not just a spiritual cleansing time, but a physical cleansing time if we do it right. Okay, so here's the recipe for you for making your own aloe vera juice at home. And I'm going to suggest that you do this with coconut water, because coconut water is not just hydrating, but it is osmotic, just as aloe vera is, which means it's going to draw water into the intestines. Most of the time we drink our water, it goes from the mouth right through, bloops, and it's out again. No, dearie darlings. We want that water to remain in our system as long as possible. And while it's in there, we want it to actually feed our gut. And we do that by having enough water in there for the food, for our gut, oh goodness, the little gut, finger-like structures known as villi in the gut, right? They're going to go and absorb all those wonderful nutrients from your food. So here's what you're going to need. If you have aloe vera, that's great. If you have aloe barbadensis, that's fine. If you have aloe ferox, absolutely alrighty. All of these aloes you can use. Do not use things that look like an arrow, but is not, was not, cannot be, is not an aloe. Not all that looks like an aloe is an aloe. So if you have your aloe, you're going to want one large mature leaf. When I say one large mature leaf, that's because you're going to want around about 1 cup, half a cup to 1 cup of aloe vera gel or aloe gel. And here's how you do it. Cut the leaf or request that the plant release the leaf. You'll be surprised. When you hold the leaf right at the end, at the base, and you say to the plant, you know what, I'd really like a leaf, please. I need it. I can vouch for this because I do this all the time. And it is easy to just gently pull down, press down, that is, press down and then pull out. And you will find suddenly the leaf is released. It's almost as if the plant knows that we need these leaves during fasting. Wallahi, give it a try and let me know. You know where to find me. By the way, 0609041056. Once again, that's our WhatsApp number. 1 large aloe leaf. When you have removed the leaf from the plant, cut off the bit at the bottom, the wide bit, cut across, and then put that leaf upright in a glass, in a cup, in a pot. Why? Because the aloe vera leaf is made of 3 things. It's the outer leaf, then there's this inner yellowish-like substance, and then there is the gel. That yellowish-like substance is going to give you the poopaloopsies. It is a laxative, darlings. It also tastes horrible. It is what they use to make aloe bitters. So don't use that. Use, of course, the gel. So to get rid of that yellow bit, you've got to put it in a cup, let it drain, and then you can use the gel only. So drain it from the cup. Remove the thorns on either side of the leaf by dragging your knife down. Slice your aloe leaf open lengthways. That is, put it down the middle so that you have leaf on either side and gel on either side. Cut it in the middle. The leaf will be on the outside and scrape out the gel. Cut it up into pieces so that you have those lovely little pieces that you enjoy in your aloe vera water. And that is how you prepare your aloe vera for the aloe vera juice. Now you're going to take that half a cup to 1 cup, depending on how much you want, depending on how stuck you are. The more stuck you are, the more you're going to want of the aloe vera gel or aloe gel. And then you are going to add to that 2 to 3 cups of coconut water. 2 to 3 cups of coconut water. The preservative that you will use so that this stays longer in your fridge is lemon juice. Easy peasy, Japanesey, lemon juice or even lime juice. And you can use as much of that as you want. You want a bit more of the taste, use more. You want less, use less. If you're wanting to add a little bit of honey to this, absolutely you can. If you're wanting to add stevia, absolutely you can. Now you're going to say to me, Robbie, but then I've just got coconut water with aloe vera bits floating in it. Aha! So you can make your aloe vera juice however you like. You've got your coconut water, you've got your lemon and your lime juice to taste, you've got your honey to taste, and you can put that coconut water with your honey, with the aloe vera bits and pieces into a blender and blitz it all up. But if you still like those little pieces, divide the amount of pieces up. So some of it you put into the blender and that becomes part of the juice, thickening that juice, that coconut water just a little. And then you've got the lovely little bits. So the bits that are intact, keep those aside. Cut them up nicely and throw them into the glass. Remember, before you're going to add that gel into your coconut juice, those little bits and pieces, do please run it through a little bit of water. Run it through a little bit of water, please, so that it is clean and you don't have any of that funky yellow stuff. So in summary, 2 tablespoons to a cup of coconut water. Or you can use a half a cup of aloe vera to 2 or 3 cups of coconut water. Or 1 cup. You see how it gets stronger the more you need it. What is this going to do? This is actually going to draw water into your gut, yes, but it is also going to help to keep things moving along in your gut. So especially important if you are finding it difficult to go. Some more important herbs during Ramadan for you, for digestion and bloating support. We started this last week and I'm continuing because every week I give you some tips for Ramadan. Methi, also known as fenugreek for our English listeners out there, methi seeds. They are quite mucilaginous, so they are going to create a kind of a mucus-like gel inside your gut that's going to draw in everything that needs to exit the body, okay? So you soak 1 teaspoon of those seeds in water overnight, and then you can drink the water. You can do that in the morning with suhoor, okay? And you can drink the water. You can even eat the softened seeds as well. So throw them into your overnight oats. I gave you the recipe for that last week. If you're not making that yet, you don't know what you're missing. It's really delicious. Don't forget also, if you are wanting to stay regular, add bulk to your gut and not feel the pangs of hunger so much throughout the day, it is good to use a little psyllium husk in the morning. How might you use psyllium husk? Well, you could make yourself some psyllium husk and banana pancakes. Grab 2 bananas, take 2 tablespoons of psyllium husk and put that into the blender. You don't need flour for this. These are low carbohydrate pancakes. If you want to add some protein powder to that, go ahead. Vanilla works good with banana, but so does chocolate flavored protein powder, because chocolate flavored protein powder plus bananas is going to give you a little bit of the Ferrero Rocher moment. Okay, so put that into your blender and then you can go ahead and make your pancakes in the morning. If you don't have time for the pancakes and you just want to use the psyllium husk as is, then my recommendation is that you put a teaspoon into a cup of water, and once you pour that teaspoon in, stir very, very fast and drink it down. Because if you don't stir fast and drink it down quickly, it's going to turn into a gel. And then it's going to be very difficult for you to swallow that gel with all those bits and pieces in it. Okay, so a teaspoon in a glass of water is absolutely perfect. And you know, I spoke to you about those overnight oats last week, and I said throw some chia seeds in there. Now, chia seeds are basil. Yes, they are holy basil. Tulsi basil, in other words. And some of you out there will say, oh, this is the same as tukmaria. It is not the same as tukmaria. Tukmaria seeds do not come from the holy basil. They come from normal basil. They are your normal sweet basil seeds. So the difference between that is the water retention, the amount of water that they can retain, and the quality or amount of nutrients that they retain, with chia seeds being higher in nutritional value than tukmaria seeds. However, in a pinch, you can go ahead and use your tukmaria seeds. It looks like our guest is somehow lost, so we are going to keep going, folks. We will take your gardening questions as well. Absolutely. Send them over to us on 060 904 1056, and we will answer those questions for you. So talking about the chia seeds, how they work is they are a slow release. So let's say that, in the iftar time, you're wanting to make a pudding. Have you considered a lovely chia pudding? A lovely chia pudding. All you need is your chia seeds that you have soaked in some water. Put quite a lot of it in. So in other words, if you're going to use 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, then you're only just going to cover it with about a finger width of water above it. You want those seeds to swell, but you don't want them to be floating around in water, if you hear what I'm saying. So if you're using tukmaria seeds, you're going to use less water. If you're using chia seeds, you're going to use more water until you have your gel. You could make that gel in the morning, and then at iftar time, you have this gel ready. And to that gel, you're going to add cream, you're going to add coconut milk, and then you're going to add some cocoa powder, and you're going to add a little bit of a sweetener. So that can be your stevia, that can be your honey, and oh goodness, that could also be your sugar. So in terms of the quantities, if you were to take a half a cup of that gel of chia seeds, you're going to use a 1/4 cup of cream. You're going to use a tablespoon of cocoa powder, and then you're going to add your sweetener to it. Mixy, 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 mixy. And there you have a beautiful pudding. It is delicious. It is going to help your gut. If you want to get a little bit more decadent, then you can actually use some melted chocolate, which works great as well. Now, we are going to take some ad breaks, and right after the break, we're going to be in with our guest talking gardening. So don't go away. Stay with Green Thumbs Up, and we'll see you right after this.
Swipe and save this Ramadan at Checkers Cowie Park and Westwood Mall with amazing deals like freshly made boerewors rolls, buy 2 for only 50 Rand. Grab a delicious steak and onion panini, buy 2 for $50. Beef Prego roll, buy 2 for 50 Rand. Whole grilled chicken and 6 hot dog rolls for only $89.99. Available in 2 flavors, peri-peri or salt and pepper. These deals are valid until Sunday, March 8th, only at Checkers Cowie Park in Westwood. Butchery, bakery and deli, certified halal by the NIHT.
At a time when investment decisions are clouded by skepticism and uncertainty, trust means everything. For over a decade, Anglo-Wealth Sharia has built investor relationships based on trust through transparency. Our asset-backed profit share investment solution, structured on ethical principles, expertly caters for the Sharia-conscious investor. Invest with peace of heart and mind this Ramadan and earn halal returns of up to 17% per annum. For more information, call 031-566-5201. Anglo-Wealth Sharia is a registered national credit provider.
As the sun sets and the day slows, it's time to gather, time to share, time for iftar at Spur. Enjoy a juicy 150-gram cheddar malt steak, 4 buffalo wings, 2 crispy samosas, and a chilled glass of faluda for $219.90. Or enjoy the half cheddar malt chicken schnitzel with all the same delicious sides for just $199.90. Available at all halal Spurs till 19 March. T's and C's apply. Spur, people with a taste for life.
This Ramadan, the Afternoon Jam team is on a mission. We are bringing bottled water and dates to masajids and communities at Iftar and Tarawih. And we need you. Strictly Lillah only. Call the Outreach Department now on 031 208 1601. Come join the blessings. Let's make it happen.
WhatsApp us now on 060-904-1056.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
When you give water, you bring life to drought-affected communities, providing fresh water for drinking, cleaning, and growing. Your support helps Islamic Relief implement water, sanitation, and hygiene projects, providing clean water to communities around the world. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
Indulge in the luxury of vodka.
Dubai's finest chocolates, with unique Middle Eastern flavors like pistachio kanafa, lotus kanafa, hazelnut kanafa, and angel hair. Every bite is a taste of opulence. Barker Chocolates. Treat yourself or gift someone special this Eid. Available at leading retail stores. Barker. The taste of luxury.
Food shortages are rising every day. But this Ramadan, the Nightline team, myself, Muhammad Variawa, and Dr. Anwar Jiwa are on a mission to put food hampers on every table in need. For just 400 Rand, you can provide your daily food items for a deserving family, Lilla only. Call Outreach now on 031 208 1601. Don't wait.
Ramadan is around the corner and preparation starts now. Get ready for a blessed month with Ramadan specials at the Al Ansar shop. From premium quality dates, refreshing Zamzam water to beautiful Ramadan gifting ideas for family, friends and loved ones, Al Ansar shop has everything you need to welcome the holy month. Perfect for iftar and meaningful gifts that come from the heart. Visit Al Ansar shop today and prepare for Ramadan the right way. Call 031 208 1601 or visit us at 207 West Road in Overport. Al Ansar shop, preparing hearts and homes for Ramadan.
I dedicate this month to you.
A station for conversation, Radio Al Ansar.
Get ready for Green Thumbs Up, the gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. I'm your host and life coach, Rabia Carvalho, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al Ansar. Welcome back to Green Thumbs Up, and I will be with you until 10 o'clock. I am Rabia Carvalho, and with me in studio is brother Sibuniso Mkize this Ramadan, and we have in studio with us a really, really interesting young man, Japan Magubane. Japan Magubane is a farmer, and he's actually an agripreneur. Yes, that is a word, folks, an agricultural entrepreneur. He's passionate about sustainable food production and community food security. A fascinating, and you're going to agree with me as we talk to him. He's got this thing going called Urban Farm KZN, right? And what he does is he focuses on using technology, greenhouse production, and improved farming practices to increase yields and promote efficient urban agriculture. We're talking urban, not rural agriculture. And he leads this fresh produce initiative. One of them is called the 15 Rand basket that helps households to access affordable vegetables. And alongside his farming work, Japan runs a food and catering business. Can you believe it? And so we're going to welcome Japan to our show this morning. Good morning, Japan, and welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for making the time to meet with us today. So many interesting things we were talking about during the ad break. So firstly, your name, Japan, because mom and dad went to Japan and that's where you emerged. Alhamdulillah. So what a wonderful way to, Japan. I love that. And then you've got this 15 Rand basket. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about what drives this passion for urban farming. And then your 15 Rand basket, how that works.
All right. So I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I like business.
Mm-hmm.
So the 50 Rand baskets, how it came about is that I saw that in order to stretch your budgets, you need to have something that's coming in.
Yes,
right?
Of course.
So a lot of people have spaces in their homes, in their places where they live.
Mm-hmm.
So having that space and a particular place,
mm-hmm.
right? It stresses your budgets in terms of you get a lot of money
mm-hmm.
coming in if you stretch your budgets and you plant things that will stretch your budgets in terms of like onions, like things that are continuous, and like onions, shallots. They are able to stretch your budgets in terms of
because they grow easily, don't they? And you can plant in mass. So you've got lots of onions that you can plant, lots of shallots that you can plant. What other kinds of things are you growing in for your food baskets? Cabbages?
Tomatoes, cabbages,
right?
And lettuce.
And lettuce, of course, because lettuce is a fast grower.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people complain about lettuce and snails because snails really, really are a thing. So what do you do for snails, by the way?
What I do is that I crush chilies and onions so that they go away.
Oh, you make a paste of chilies and onions.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's not artificial, but it's kind of like
it's your own organic pesticide.
Organic pesticides.
Perfect. Yeah. We're very big on organic pesticides in this show.
Yeah.
And so chilies and onions crushed together.
Chilies, onions, and garlic.
Garlic, of course.
Are best pesticides for any garden that you might have.
And of course, you're going to crush that and you're going to put that into water.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have got this 15 Rand basket. How did that start? I mean, you were sitting at home one day and you thought, I'm going to feed a whole bunch of people and turn it into a business?
No, so I was sitting at home. So my granny, she receives a social grants from SASA.
Right.
And how the money she received, how she stressed the budget in terms of she was planting at a school nearby where we live.
Yes.
So she was planting and like onion, tomatoes, cucumber, and shallots. She would plant at that school. And then what she was like
harvesting,
when she came at home, the food tasted so nicely. And then when she came back with this, she was like, no, this is what I produce. I bought the seedlings through my SASA grants and through whatever I'm receiving.
Yes.
And this is how I'm able to bring good food and produce more for you guys. And then I thought about, okay, this would be a great idea to plant and produce more food for many other households.
Yes.
Because
it is an
helps.
essential. Yes, it is. And you look nowadays and a lot of the food that you buy out there, these fast foods and things, it's almost like they're cheaper than fresh fruits and vegetables. And yet you could be growing your own. And as you say, there are low budget vegetables that you could be growing at home that are not so complicated to grow. So you looked at that and then you started to distribute to households. How many households more or less are you distributing now? And how long have you been running this initiative?
It's been for 3 years.
Okay.
And it's going very well. And a lot of people are producing their own produce from home.
Okay.
Based on this initiative.
Okay, so you're not only giving them the food, but you're also teaching them to grow.
Yes.
Well, that is wonderful. That is exactly what we need to be doing out there, folks. You know what? When you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. When you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And it's the same when you're growing crops, right? Teach them to grow their crops and you feed them for a lifetime. Now, if I were to say to you, it is the time of the year where our Muslim community is going through the month of Ramadan. It is a month of fasting. So our gardens still need to kind of keep running. So at this time of the year, what tasks are you focusing on? Are you harvesting? Are you planting? And what are the some let's start with that. What are you planting or harvesting at the moment? What's going on this time of year for you?
So for me, I'm planting tomatoes at the moment. I've got 2 tunnels in Pietermaritzburg.
Right.
That are planting tomatoes. and green pepper.
Mm.
So what I'd say is that urban farming and introducing technology helps in a certain way that you always have a consistent supply of your fresh produce.
Okay.
So urban farming is that apart from receiving fresh produce that helps you out with stretching your budget, it also, I would say that it helps you out with how can I say, creating such an income for you, and also that you don't spend quite a lot on what you always need every single day. Yeah.
That is, yeah. So, yes, what technologies are you using? You mentioned technologies. What technologies are you using to actually create, more produce, more growth?
AI.
AI?
Yes.
How are you using AI? That's interesting.
How I'm using AI is in terms of asking the computer what's the best conducive environment for my tomato plants to grow.
Yeah, it's amazing that nowadays with AI technology, you can take a picture, you can ask AI. You don't need all of these other apps, and a lot of people don't know that. You can take a picture, and there's Gemini AI. There is Gemini AI. There is ChatGPT, of course, and there's this brand new AI that I am completely obsessed with, which is Kimi AI. It just came out in the last few weeks. It is Chinese. It started by the Chinese, but I really think it's rocket fuel for AI in terms of asking questions. But just a couple of comments that have come through from some listeners. Assalamu alaikum, Rabia. Wa alaikum salam. I'm watching you on YouTube. Oh, alhamdulillah. Hello, I'm waving to you. So no need to ask how you are because you look good, alhamdulillah. How can I get all these lovely recipes? So it's right here. If you're on YouTube, remember, it is going to be saved on YouTube. So you can go and listen back as many times as you need, or you can write them down. So these recipes I have found for you, made for you in some cases. Yeah, and they are very, very helpful. Some things, you just kind of write it down because next year you're going to forget. Next year when Ramadan comes around, you're going to have forgotten what we spoke about this year. So here we go. And assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak to you too, dear listeners. So we're talking to Japan about organic farming, and he is using his chili and garlic paste. He's got his 15 Rand basket helping households to grow affordable vegetables. Now, you also run a food and catering business. So that's interesting because you've then got enough produce to supply households as well as make the food and supply the food, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. So what advice would you give to someone who is at home? They are obviously in an urban area. How would they get started with farming in their own home if they have a little bit of land?
If they have a little bit of land, is that I would encourage to have pine shavings.
Pine shavings?
Yes.
Okay.
Put it in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
And plant whatever seedlings that you buy and put it in the pine shaving.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And then make sure that you understand how your irrigation will work out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So if it's in a building, at home, just understand irrigation systems.
Okay, so to make sure that your plants have water, absolutely.
Yes.
Now, you talk about pine shavings to germinate seeds, and I discovered something quite by accident that germinates seeds very well, and that is nappies.
Yes.
If you cut open a nappy, and you take out the little, there's like a powder inside, little balls inside, and you put it into a tray and you put water in it. You have a completely sterile environment that you can use to germinate, and then you can reuse to germinate. And I find that is very, very, very easy to grow stuff. In fact, what I've done before is I've put a fine net, very, very fine little mesh, almost like a mosquito netting, over the nappy stuff that's wetted through, right, the substrate. And then I put that down, and then I put the seeds down. I put a fine little layer of this nappy stuff over it again. And when I want to pull out the seeds, I just lift it, and there my seeds are germinated. But pine shavings certainly are a wonderful way to germinate your crops. Now, in terms of the tomatoes, are you growing large tomatoes, cherry tomatoes? Which are your preferred ones that grow best in the Durban area?
It's large tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you know the cultivars at all, or the varieties at all?
So there's interdeterminate and determinate tomato plants.
Right.
So the interdeterminate is a consistent supply of tomatoes, and they produce large and good-looking tomatoes.
Fantastic. And you spoke about tunnels. So you're using tunnels. I suppose that's because of the monkeys.
Yeah. No, it's in terms of reducing the amount of insects that get into the tunnels. Basically producing great tomatoes in a tunnel form, and to assist with
so that they grow stronger. Now, what do you use for your tomato leaves? Because the tomatoes, a couple of things. You get your mold on your tomatoes, you get your mildew, especially with the rain and the humidity that we've got. And then, of course, blight happens as well, later on in the season. So let's do with the mildew. What are you using to fight mildew? Is it organic, or are you using pesticide sprays?
It's organic. It's chilies and garlic.
The same thing?
Yes. Chilies, garlic, and onions.
Why don't you give us your particular recipe mix, please, for our listeners? We're asking, please, can we get a recipe? How do you make it? So quantities, your chilies and your garlic.
So for every one liter, I use 2 handfuls of chilies.
Okay.
And then 2 or 3 cloves of garlic.
So that's not a lot. A handful of chilies, 2 or 3 garlic for 1 liter.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're going to blitz that. Are you going to spray it as is, or you're going to dilute it?
I'm going to spray it, but firstly that you do obviously chop it.
Yes.
Allow it for it to dissolve in the water.
Right.
And then after 4 hours to 6 hours, you spray it onto your plants.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a wonderful way to get rid of pests, right?
Yeah.
Garlic and chilies. Do you know, I didn't read about it. I read about it a long time ago, and I use neem oil. And I have found, the neem oil and your Sunlight dishwash liquid spray works nicely, but sometimes you do get that kind of oily residue on the leaves. So maybe the chilies and the garlic. Now, I've got lots of Carolina Reaper chili, so those are extremely powerful. So I might use less than a handful, but I'm definitely going to give that a try. Sister Sarah says, Salams Rabia, how can we purchase veggies from your guests? So I thought this would come up. How could they go about contacting you to actually get your 15 Rand baskets? Or is this already you've got the specific range of households that you're supplying to?
So I'm supplying where I come from, in my township.
Right.
The reason why I'm only specifically in my township is because fresh produce.
Yes.
At the end of the day, that you need to be fresh, and it needs to be green and lively. So we just specifically in the township of Mlazi, but we are going to, obviously, if we grow
You'll get your supply chain sorted out if you grow, right? Because at the moment, folks, the veggies are fresh, and so he's handing them out fresh to the households, because otherwise you've got transportations, you've got to keep things cool, you've got to keep things fresh, you've got to harvest earlier and so forth. So I want to say thank you for coming on the show. I hope you'll be back and let us know as your business continues to grow and you start to get more and more households on it. I think it's applaudable that you're doing this in the township, providing fresh vegetables to people in their homes. So thank you, Japan, for being here with us today. That was Japan, folks. Do you have some details you'd like to share with our people if they want to get a hold of you? Or do you have a website perhaps?
Website, not as yet.
Social media?
Social media is just Urban Farm.
Urban Farm.
On Facebook, and then on TikTok it's Japan Magubani.
Japan Magubani. Okay, well that's it from Japan today. Thank you so much for being with us, folks. Yes, we were talking about the gardening, and try that chili. So he said a handful of your chilies, 2 or 3 garlic cloves, and you blitz that up with your water and let it stand for about 6 hours. And then from there, you will be able to spray it. Okay, so that is what he's got. We were also talking earlier on in terms of the recipes, another request that came for the recipes. So the recipe for, which was it that I gave out? Let me see, the aloe vera juice. Okay, the aloe vera juice recipe, that is going to be a 1 large aloe vera leaf. You're going to cut it off at the base, stand it in the glass for 5 to 10 minutes to let the yellow latex strain. You're then going to add 2 to 3 cups of filtered coconut water to it once you have washed the aloe vera. So if you've got these big chunks of aloe vera, you can cut them small, add them together, add some lemon juice or some lime juice and a little bit of honey. And that is your aloe vera juice. That is really, really helpful. Keeping our eyes on the news, there has been, as you know, the death of Iran's leader, Khamenei, and that has been very sad. This sent shockwaves around the world, as we obviously didn't expect. I didn't expect, honestly, for this to actually take root the way it has. And just my own personal opinion, I don't understand how some countries, this is my personal opinion, not the opinion of Radio Al Ansar necessarily, how some countries seem to get away quite literally with blue murder. But anyway, we are watching the news closely and we will bring you that live as it happens throughout the show. Stay tuned for Sister Salma Kazi Wahab and the Sunday Lounge with her beautiful nasheeds that she's going to be bringing to you today. And the rest of the day, we have some awesome, awesome shows. So for me, you can always follow me on my socials. That's Life Coach Rabia. Lots of you asking about the youth serum. Go and find out more on the social media, Life Coach Rabia. And I will see you next week, same time, same place at 9 a.m. with Brother Sibnisim Kize. And so from me, from the entire team at Radio Al Ansar, including Sister Kelly Ramzani Jazakallah, she has found our guest for us today. She's a producer of this show now. And so we love having her on board. So Jazakallah. And from all of us to all of you, a continuation of a beautiful Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Look at the sun, look at the sky.